What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and our good friends at Amazon.ca have given us the reveal that a new D&D book is coming out in December 6th to be exact. By the way, if you want to stay up to date on news and things like this, consider subscribing to the channel. You guys have continued to grow that number that you see right there constantly, and I really can't thank you all enough. So let's take a look. You can see it right here. It is listed at $65. Now, I think that is just the conversion rate from US dollars to Canadian dollars. I could be wrong, but it is set to launch on December 6th of 2022. And the only information we have is keep an eye on your favorite D&D news sources for your first peek inside this upcoming D&D release. What does that mean? Obviously, I know sometimes they give certain news outlets previews and kind of get them into areas and they keep them under NDA. They don't seem to want to invite me to that, but that would also fix a lot of the problem if they did it. So, Wizards, if you want me to not leak stuff, make it so that I can't by letting me on the inside. Anyway, that's not what this video is about, but what could this be? We don't really have any more information. If you scroll down, you can get dimensions and weight. I've done it in the past where I try to compare the weights of different books to see how many pages it is. Turns out they can just change that at any point, so you can't use that as an example. But I really don't know. My assumption is coming the 18th, coming on the 18th next Thursday, or this coming Thursday rather. We'll get this information in the D&D Direct stream. Not D&D Direct, D&D or Wizards Presents stream. So this could be Dragonlance in the D&D Direct stream. Speaking of, earlier this year, it was announced that Dragonlance, whatever the Dragonlance book that's coming, will be coming out later this year. Now, could this be that book? I would like to think because it was already announced that Dragonlance is coming out, that this wouldn't be that, or they would just call this the Dragonlance release for 2022. So this it could be that coming out in December, or that book could possibly be coming out in September or October, and this could be something completely new that we've never heard of before. Now, earlier in the year, it was sort of alluded that there would be 2 classic campaign settings this year, one of which was Spelljammer, which is coming out on Tuesday, the second of which we know will be Dragonlance coming later in the year. But what is the third book? Now, it was a concept or it was 2 classic campaign settings, and this third one would be like an allusion to it. Like, it would be something possibly new, but maybe derivative of something old, or at least would reference it in some way. My thoughts are it's probably going to be something Planescape, if indeed that is what this book is, just because we seem to have a big focus on multiverses and that whole concept lately. So I'm assuming that would be the book if it is a campaign setting. But someone brought this up to me in one of my YouTube comments that, have I noticed there's been a severe decrease in the number of magic items influxed into the game? Now, there's a couple, one, yes, I have, and two, there's a couple of thoughts behind that. One, I think, is maybe they're not sure what role they kind of want magic items to play completely in this sort of updated 2024 release that we'll be seeing. I feel like that can't be entirely true, though, because whatever comes out in 2024 is supposed to be, at least that's what we've been alluded to and told, not alluded to, that's the wrong word. We've been flat out told that it will be backwards compatible with everything from 5e. If you're changing the way the magic item system works, though, then I guess you probably can't do that as much. But the concept is, maybe we're going to get a magic item book. For some folks, they may say, well, I don't know if that would sell as well as an adventure or something else. I think that'd actually be one of the best-selling books out there. The amount of money that people who just make magic item books, whether they do it through Kickstarter, the DM's Guild, or otherwise, magic item cards, there are folks that just subsist on creating magic items because people want more, because WotC is so slow to roll those out. But if you think about it, look at the magic items in Radiant Citadel. There's really one, and it's sort of a reskin, one new magic item. Look at Spelljammer. There's like 3. There was I don't think there was too many, if I recall, in Critical Role Call of the Netherdeep. So that's pretty much all the books this year. We've had a smattering, maybe 5, 10 new magic items. Well, when you think about the previous campaign settings, you look at Spelljammer's got 3. Now, maybe it has to do with the nature of these weird format in which they're releasing them, and they just don't have the page content to do it. But look at something like Eberron, Theros, or Ravnica. They all had a ton of magic items. Even, again, Journeys from the Radiant Citadel is an anthology, but if you look at Candlekeep Mysteries, Saltmarsh, even all the way back to Tales from the Yawning Portal, those also had a significant amount of magic items. Could that mean that we might get whatever they're going to call this edition's version of the Magic Item Compendium? Will this compile all of the previous magic items, similar to what they did with Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, where they pick and chose what subclasses they wanted to update from previous books and included them all in one, and then kind of gave them the updates and tweaks that they needed? Could we be seeing that in some form of a whatever the new version of a Magic Item Compendium would be, where it takes all of the previous item books from all of the previous sources, compiles them into one thing, and then updates the rules, and that's currently the new version of those going forward? We've seen this in the past. They did this a bunch back in 3rd edition, where a magic item would come out in like this splat book and this splat book and that splat book, and then they released something like a magic item compendium, which would pull them all together and then give them the most updated current set of rules. So you would use that version because this one was either broken or overpowered, or it was just underpowered, so they would fix it in the compendium version. The same thing with spells and rules as well back in the day. There was just a lot, so they had to combine these things to give you basically the spell compendium, rule compendium, and then again, the magic item compendium. I think that would be amazing. I am here for it if that is what they're going to do. But, but the cynic in me says, because I want it so bad, we just won't get it. So maybe it will be some sort of spiritual successor to Planescape, and we'll get some more multiverse stuff. Or, you know what, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised and it'll be something completely out of left field that I have no concept of, and I just will have to deal with it when it happens. But as to that point, I will be live streaming my reaction to the D&D, the Wizards Presents live stream, so I will be there for it, live streaming. I took the day off of work so I could be present for it. So be sure to come here and check out Nerd Immersion's YouTube on the day. I'll be here doing a live stream. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.